Hang on, I think we still have. How about now? We still receive feedback from some participants saying that they can't hear me. How about now? Okay, sorry. Thanks for the feedback, Jeff. I think I need to re-click on the computer audio and then it restarts. That's why. All right, thanks. I'll just go back to the first slide. Sorry about that earlier because there were some technical issues. Okay, I'll go back to the first slide again because there are some housekeeping rules just to take note. So a quick one, my name is Yan Fen. I'm actually in charge in marketing of Minitab products in Visit Systems. So I'll be the presenter for the webinar today, which is about Companion by Minitab. So Companion by Minitab is actually a different product offered by Minitab as well, but it is a separate program, separate entity from the Minitab statistical software that you have been familiar with. So a little bit about the webinar housekeepings. Before we get started, just to take note that if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the question box in the control panel or the chat window. So you can send in any time throughout the presentation, but we will only address them during Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And then secondly, just please make sure that you are connected to the audio via your computer speakers because we are using VoIP to broadcast the webinar. And last but not least, the webinar will be recorded just for your information. And with that reason, we will set it as listen-only mode, whereby your microphone will be muted so that it won't interrupt the audio recording. So again, if you have any questions, just feel free to type that in the chat window or question box. Okay, and then we will share the recording on our website. So at any time later on, if you would like to access to the recording, just drop us an email or let us know so that we can send you the link for you to access to it. Or you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type in Minitab Malaysia and Singapore in the search window in YouTube, and then you can locate us. So we will upload or post all of our webinar recordings, even the past webinars, all on the YouTube channel. So let's move on and get started. A little bit about the history of Companion by Minitab. Okay, before we go into what is actually Companion by Minitab. So in year 2003, SkyMark's PathMaker was acquired, modified, and released as Minitab Quality Companion, which is the version 1. It was actually meant to address non-statistical needs of the Six Sigma market, and it comes with basic project organization and problem-solving tools. And then in 2006, Quality Companion 2 was released, whereby it has been completely rewritten by Minitab with some added tools. In 2008, Minitab added in Quality Companion 2 with the dashboard. And then in 2009, Minitab released version 3 plus the dashboard. So in the most prominent feature that was added into the Quality Companion 3 was value stream maps, which was they need to address the growing limb movement. And then there are also some other enhancements to better support the deployment needs. And then in 2013, Keystone was launched. Keystone was actually another web-based application whereby it comes with the scalable web-based dashboard, and then all of the project storage is centralized in the cloud systems, and it comes with the modified version of Quality Companion 3. And then in 2017, 2 years ago, Minitab released Companion by Minitab. So what is actually Companion by Minitab? So It is actually a complete platform for managing your continuous improvement program. So if you are involved in continuous improvement projects, process improvement, process excellence initiatives, so Companion by Minitab will be something that you can look into. It combines tools for executing projects with an automated dashboard reporting. And then it is also a cloud-based project management solution which focus on your continuous improvement methodologies. Okay, and then this is actually how the architecture of Companion by Minitab looks like. So as you can see on the diagram, the end user will be sitting on the desktop, Companion desktop side, whereby the desktop app itself comes with the roadmaps, templates, and then it comes with over 100 industry proven process improvement tools, templates, and so on, diagrams, all the charts that are required to complete your continuous improvement program. And when you have all of the tools and templates in one project file, you get to share the data across in between forms and tools. So when the end user is working on the desktop, he updates all the information, then all of this data and the information, project data, will be saved in a cloud storage, whereby it is hosted by Microsoft Azure. So it is considered as a very secured cloud storage systems. So these projects and data will be stored in secure centralized storage, whereby the management can, or the management or the user can access from anywhere. So over here at the bottom, this is a snapshot, a screen capture of dashboard. I think this is more useful for the management team when at any particular point of time they would like to see what is the status reports or what is the updates of the projects that are currently running in their organization. So they can pull out this report as in a dashboard report with some dynamic graphical summaries, and then you can also customize these dashboard reports. So this web-based dashboard can be accessed anytime, anywhere, because it is web-based. Just as long as you have the login details, then you can access it. And then this is another way to look at the architecture. Okay, so again, okay, these are the steps. Step one, the end user will log in. Okay, so this refers to a full version. That means full version consists of the desktop app, which comes with the project roadmaps, the tools, data, and then also with the web app. So first step, the end user log in with his credentials, and then he will pull out and goes to step two to download the project and data templates into his computer. And then he will do the updates of his project data, project status, and everything. Then he will go to step three, where he will save the project. So the project will be saved back into the cloud storage, okay? And in step number four, whereby the management or the project team leader, they would like to pull out the project report. So it will go to the dashboard report. So the desktop app, as you can see over here at the bottom, the desktop app consists of the tools and forms templates, whereas the web app, whereby it is web-based, so it consists of the dashboard, the project repository, the project storage, as well as a design center. Design center is where you can customize your or create a custom fields, custom data fields, templates that you would like to set for the whole organization use. Okay. So these are the two main components, as I mentioned just now. It consists of the desktop app and the web app. So the web app, the full version consists of both desktop app and web app. Our licensing options consist of just the desktop app or the full version, which consists of both. So the desktop app itself comes with the roadmaps to provide direction for the team members. And then it comes with the tools, the most common tools that are used for continuous improvement projects. And it also comes with relevant data that you can populate the dashboard. And then it is documented within the projects. Whereas on the web app itself, the web app provides you visibility via the dashboard. And then it provides you the project storage in the repository. It also provides you standardization of data, okay, and the control of templates via the design center, where you can set or customize your data fields or the templates. So who actually needs this product, Companion by Minitab? Our target users are executive champions or managers who are responsible for continuous improvement. They can also be consultants, coaches, master black belts, or others who need to aggregate or compile metrics across multiple projects especially, and who help teams work through the improvement projects. It can also be engineers, project leaders, team members, or any practitioner who will carry out and report on continuous improvement projects. Or it can be anyone who is doing continuous improvement, operations excellence, Lean Six Sigma, quality improvement, and so on. So these are the users of Quality Companion 3, the previous release. We have customers in both Singapore and Malaysia. Okay, so these are the list of our some of our customers who are using Quality Companion 3. So as you can see, they are from various industry background, not only limited to manufacturing, but also pharmaceutical, logistics, semiconductors, and all that. And for Companion by Minitab, these are the some of the customers for information around the world. Okay, so far we have AMD in Singapore, and then in Malaysia we have Sime Plantation, and then the rest are from around the world, especially in the US. So again, they are from various industry background as well. So this is the agenda of the webinar today, but I'll try to cover everything, but just in case if due to the time constraint, I will pick those important ones to cover. So if you would like to know more later on, then you can always drop us an email to find out, okay? So let's move on to the desktop app. Before I go to the actual software, just a bit about the features of the desktop app. So it comes with the project roadmaps, okay, the phases like DMAIC, Kaizen, and so on. So, and then it comes with complete process improvement toolkit all in one place. Let me just move on to the, okay. So this is meant by the project templates, okay. So by default, these are the project templates which are readily available in Companion by Minitab. As you can see, 8D, CDOV, DMAIC, Just Do It, Kaizen, and so on. So most of the commonly used project methodologies are here. If you would like to build from scratch, you can just create on empty project files, blank project templates. And then because my version is a full version, it will download everything from the cloud storage, whereby because all of the project data and templates have been saved there, so every time I want to open up, it will be downloaded from the cloud. So this is a blank project file, whereby the roadmaps, as you can see on the left panel, under roadmap, the phases are not readily defined. So if you go for the, let's say, DMAIC, then you will see that the phases have been predefined and populated for you. Okay, yeah, okay, so this is how the DMAIC project template looks like. The roadmap has been populated with define phase, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And under each phases, there are recommended tools, which is suggested by the experts or Lean Six Sigma or the continuous improvement experts. Of at least it can give you some guideline to your team members who are new to the project team and so on. They know what they should do at each phase, let's say, but you can still customize or edit this, let's say the phase name. You can rename it if you don't want to put as the whole term. You can just put as define and then enter. And then you, other than the tools suggested for you, you can still add in other tools. Just right click, insert tool, and then you can just include any other tools that you want to add in. So that is what meant by project roadmaps. And then comes with complete process improvement toolkit all in one place because everything is contained in one project file. And then when you have all the tools and data in one, centralized in one location, you can share data in between these forms and tools. And then the latest updates of the companion by Minitab. Minitab has improved it in a way that it works with Minitab 19, version 19, statistical software. So you can send output from Minitab statistical software to companion, okay? And then you can also insert a Minitab project straight from companion roadmap, okay, that is in the screenshot here. And then updates will be saved inside the companion projects. So let's say if you have added in the Minitab project file into your companion roadmap, the next time when you go and update your data in Minitab statistical software, all of the updates will also be saved inside the companion project file. So you don't need to update on both sides anymore. And then it comes with the import Monte Carlo simulation models from Minitab 19 as well. So bear in mind that it only works with Minitab version 19, not the previous release of Minitab statistical software. And then last but not least, you can send tools and output to Microsoft Word as well as PowerPoint. So as you can see, this is the, just a screenshot of the desktop app, okay, with the project manager section on top left, and then the roadmaps, and then all of the tools populated in one place, and then you can share the data. So there are more than 100 customizable process improvement tools offered in companion by Minitab. So these are some of the tools like the most commonly used, such as process map, value stream map, brainstorming tools like Fishbone, mind machine materials, and then FMEA, quality function deployment, and then it also comes with Monte Carlo simulation, okay, a real working Monte Carlo simulation, C&E matrix, cyborg, project prioritization matrix, project charter, and so on. There are many more, okay? So we will take a look at it later on. This is the environment. Okay. So just to quickly show you on the project manager section. So under project manager section, you can have access to project today, whereby it will show you the snapshot of your project status, the then current project status. So it appears as form, you can directly fill it up, okay, based on your project methodologies and so on. So you can also choose the phase and then it will highlight it for you and so on. Okay, so all of these you have to key in on your own based on your project. And then project charter is, it falls under project manager. Okay, one more thing, if you're having the desktop app only, whereby you do not have the web app, you won't be able to edit anything on the project manager sections. So including the project charter as well. So all of these here, you can't change or remove, okay? So you can only directly type them in. And then project charter falls under project manager section. There is also financial data, okay, for you to fill up. So these are all the suggested forms for you to include in your projects. So you can key in the date, hard savings, soft savings, and so on. You can also add in team members and roles, okay? So I'll just quickly show you a quick way of data sharing. So the easiest way would be, let's say for currently the project is named Estimate Project. We'll rename it as Sample Project. So anywhere in your project file which consists of project name will be updated automatically. So I'll just hit enter. So as you can see over here, just now it was named as DMAS project. It has been updated. If you go to project today, it will show sample project, project charter as well. So anywhere that consists of project name will be automatically updated for you. So that is just the easiest example to show you how the data sharing works in Companion by Minitab. So other than, it is not limited to project name only. So as long as you have the same data fields captured in other forms and tools, it will be automatically updated as well. So another way to show you about data sharing is, let's say currently my team, I have a blank team members list. So I'll just add in a quick one. You can actually import it from your Outlook address book if you have the team member's name. You can also type in here. Let's say I'll just type in. So you can identify that it is someone new, not in your list. So just save, add, and then let's say I'll put Desmond. So if this person has access to the companion, then it will detect that this person has a subscription as well, including the email address. So I can just click enter, and then John, let's say, John is someone new, add, and then save, okay? So once I've done that, you will see that the team members' name have been populated. You can add in the email address and so on. You can also select their role. Okay, you can also sort them according to role, name, and so on. So even the department, job title, and everything. Okay, so I'll sort according to name, sending. So, okay, so the same thing when you have added in the team member's name, just now I've also selected their role. So automatically everywhere in the project files, let's say Desmond has been updated as project leader on the project leader fields, and then champion has been updated as well. So this is another way of promoting data sharing. So let's say if I change it to, let's say I change John to process owner. So he will move on to process owner. So you can try it out on your own later on. So same thing if you go back to project charter. So Desmond was previously defined as project leader, so his name is already there, automatically added for you. Okay. And then see, other than that, you can also add in tasks, and then the Gantt chart will be automatically populated for you. A quick and easiest way is just show you collect data. What is the status? Assigned to who? Say assigned to Lily. And then you can detect whether you have another new Lily or the existing Lily. And then what is the start date, what is the due date, and so on. Okay, what is the completion date, and so on. So if you click on the ALTA's Gantt chart, it will appear at the bottom of your, it will appear on top of your task table. Okay, so you have other tasks, just add them in, create new tasks. You want to add it above or below, you can just type in, okay, and so on. So the Gantt chart will be automatically updated for you, very straightforward. And then this section refers to the ideal form, which is meant for the workflow. So I will talk about it later on. And then just move on to, so that's how you create a project. Go back to the agenda. So the first tools we want to look at is forms. So as I mentioned earlier, all of these, most of the details in project manager section, they appear as forms. So other than this, you can also still add in, okay, let's say for define phase, I would like to add in another form. Just right click and then insert to form. So that is one of the way for you to add in or insert tools. Okay. Another way is to add in from the top ribbon, insert, and you can also click on the tools from here. Okay. So as you can see, if I scroll down, I think there are more than about 40 forms available. So most of the commonly used forms or templates, project templates, yeah. We call it forms in Companion. They are all readily available for you. A3, 5S audit, C&E matrix, control plan. There's also Gantt chart, cyborg, and so on. Okay, and then if you would like to select any one of it, just click on it. If you would like to build from scratch, design a custom form, select blank form, create. Okay, so this will be a totally blank form. You can add in the fields and control buttons from the top ribbon. Okay, it is quite straightforward and very flexible. Let's say I will pick an existing form just to show you how you can, let's say I will select C&E matrix. Okay, so C&E matrix is also one of the forms. I'll just, if I want to edit these forms, maybe I don't like what are currently available there. I want to add in more. I want to delete some of them. Just click on design. By default, it appears as fill out mode for you to capture the data or information. Just click on the button next to it, which is design mode, whereby you can design the layout. Let's say I would like to also capture department. Just type in, and then it is very straightforward. And if I want to include a drop down list for the user to pick, okay, I can name the field name. So I'll just type in what are the options for them to pick. Let's say finance, hit enter, marketing, sales, and you can also set the default value whether you want to select blank or by default you want to select marketing, then hit OK. So when you go back to the fill out mode, just click on fill out mode. then the new fields are there, okay? And then by default, it is selected under marketing. So all of this customization, you can do it on your own for any forms that are applicable to you. You can also set the format. Let's say you want to bold the text, you want to put it as other colors and so on. Okay, just go back to view out mode, and then the end user, the project team can directly use the form according to your predefined templates. Okay, so for C&E matrix, let's see. I will come back to C&E matrix later on. Okay, because I'd like to show you how you can import the data from process maps. So we will move on to process map, insert, process map, and then by default there are two options of process maps, which is a blank process map or cross-functional. Cross-functional process map provides you the departments and phases. So it depends on which one you would like to use. Let's say I'll just show you cross-functional process map. How does it look like? So this is cross-functional process map. Okay, it looks like this. You can type in the title, change the phase name, just double click and so on. You can also change the department name, and then you can work on your process map. Just click on the shapes, drop it at any particular intersection of phases and department. Okay, so I would like to show you how easily and quickly you can come up with a process map from scratch. Just click on insert again, process map. Okay, from scratch, from the blank one. So it will only show you the workspace area. So just bear with me for a few seconds. I would like to add in these shapes. Just click on the shapes and then drop it at the workspace. And then I rename by double click. Put start, take order, and then decision shape, click on it. This is an example of reduce pizza defect. So can we make pizza? Just a simple example. And then cook the pizza. And last, the end is delivery. So the reason why I put all of the shapes scattered around is because I would like to show you how you can easily align or space them later on. So, okay. And then I would like to add in the connectors. Place the connectors at the bottom of the shapes. So there is an option for you to click on multi-insert mode, okay, whereby you can add in multiple copies of the same object or same shapes in the workspace. I click on multi-insert mode once, and then I will select the connectors. So I like to add in these straight arrows for a few times. I'll just click on multi-insert mode, and then it will also show you the center point. If you point the cursor to the shapes, it will show you the green dot refers to the center point, so that you can easily just put the arrows and connectors. And then I would like to also add in another connectors, another one here. Okay, and then deselect the multi-insert mode, so go back to the original mode, and then just double click on the connectors to rename it. Yes. Okay. So currently the process map doesn't look nice yet. So I want to align them. I'll just select, highlight, drag the whole section of the shapes that I would like to align, and then click on align. Once you have selected or highlight, there is an option visible to you, and then it should be align middle. Okay, horizontally. Same thing for the bottom. You would like to align horizontally, align middle. And then if you would like to align vertically, highlight from top to bottom of the sections, go back to align, align center. So it will be automatically aligned for you. So very quick and easiest way. You can also space accordingly if you want to. Let's say from the top section, I would like to space, they call it distribute horizontally. So the spacing in between will be equally spaced. And then I would like to show you also how you can add in the, there is a task pane over here on the right. There is an arrow, I click on it, then I can hide or display the task pane. So task pane is for you to capture or store all the settings of your forms or data. Okay, so I would like to add in some variables. Let's say I right click the take order shapes. There's another way. Right click the take order shape and then shape data. And then choose add variables. And then the task pane will be visible to you as well, but it will automatically choose the variables tab. So I would like to add in new input variables, X input variables. So just a quick one, because later on I would like to use this variable in the other tools as well. So I need to type them in. Just a quick one. Menu, let's say. And then you can select the type, data type, and so on. So I'll just leave it as it is. Okay. And if I have another one more, will be wait staff. Okay. Orders. And then the output will be order slip. Okay. And then in cook pizza shapes, I say I would like to add in ingredients and ovens as input variables, ingredients and ovens, number 1. And then the output will be pizza. Okay. So you can also add in process and in data to a shape. Directly, you can directly click on the shape and then click on the tab process or link data. Or you can also right click the same shape, add process data or add link data. So either way will work. So you can enter the values of the data that you want to add. Let's say for this one, what is the cycle time? What is the standard deviation? And what is the value added cycle time and so on. So you can try it out on your own later on. And okay, by default, it will show or display the label and the data. If you do not want it to be displayed, you want to hide it and so on. To hide only the labels, you can choose, select the shape, choose map, and then data display. You can hide the labels, just show the data itself. So only menu and wait staff will be displayed. You can also hide the whole thing, including the shape data. Okay, so it's quite flexible for you. And if you do not want the X and Y variables to be displayed in your process map. You can also hide them. Choose map. Choose map data display and then go to select and arrange shape data. So as you can see, by default, the X and Y variables will be displayed on top and bottom of each shape. Say I want to put it left and right, just drag to the left, then just drag the Y variables to the right, and then hit OK. So if you select on that shapes, then it will only be reflected for that shape. So if you want to apply for the whole process map, drag the whole section, so then go to select arrange shape data and do it again, left and right. If you want to add in other detail, other data as well, let's see what's the thing that I added in just now. Cycle time, I put it at the bottom. Okay, so the cycle time will also be added if you fill out that data. Okay, so that is about the process map. So now we will go to the C&E matrix that we have created earlier. Okay, so I would like to show you how the data in the process map can be imported into your C&E matrix. So just a quick and easiest way. So the C&E matrix will show you the chart at the bottom after you fill up. So you have the options of creating new Y variables. Just click on the plus minus sign, the icon when you move your cursor there, and then X variables are on the horizontal. So you can add in the row above or below. You can add in the Y variables left or right. So I do not want to type in one by one. Since I already created the process map, I would like to use the existing X variables that I have added in the process map. So just select the existing X variables, and then you can have the options to select all or just selectively pick some of them, and I select all, okay. Then it will be automatically added in for you. And then the same thing I will do for the Y variables. I select all, okay. Then it will be added in for you. So from here, you can directly put in your ratings and so on. Okay, so that is another way of data sharing in Companion by Minitab. So let's say I'll just put thing. And then it will be automatically calculated for you based on the weighted value by inputs, and then the percentage of net effect and so on. Okay, and then it will be populated in the chart below that. Okay, and one thing for you to highlight is you will notice that the instructions will also be provided under the forms that will provide you some guideline on how you can use this particular form or tools. What is the purpose of this form used for? And then what are the steps for you to fill up? Okay, so it's very useful. So after C&E matrix, I'll go to brainstorming tools. Brainstorming tools refers to something like fishbone diagram and machine materials. So again, you just have to click on insert, and then there are three options here. Another way is define, right click, and then let's say I select fishbone, and then under fishbone diagram there are four options for as a key fishbone and my machine materials. Let's say I will pick my machine materials. Okay, so the man-machine material fishbone has been populated for you. If you want to change the statement of problem, just can type it here. Let's say I put reduce pizza defects, and then just double click on any child or siblings or affinity or courses if you want to change it. Okay, just double click on it, then you can edit them. So over here, if you enable the task pane, there is an option for you to import X and Y variables that you have added or created earlier in process maps or in other forms, tools. Before that, I will just show you what is the use of this brainstorm list. There is a section for you to type in. So we understand that at a particular point of time when doing brainstorming sessions, the team members will come up with various ideas. So probably the team member or the project team leader would like to quickly type in the ideas. So you can just type in the brainstorm list. Let's say I will just type in some example for the reduced pizza defects. Supplier A, supplier B, oven number 2, temperature, and so on. Okay, so if you have more, you can type them in, and then from here you can categorize this data into your fishbone diagram. So depending on where you want it to fall under, let's say temperature should be the measurements. I'll drop it under measurement. Just drag and drop it. So oven should be the machines. Supplier A, probably I'll put on the materials. Supplier B, I'll put on the materials as well. Okay. So other than that, there is also an option for you to import the X and Y variables. I'll click on import X variables. So the existing X variables that I've created in process map, I just select them. Same thing I do for the Y variables. So they will be automatically populated for you. So just repeat the same steps as ingredients. I drag and drop it under materials. Oven under machines. Menu, probably the methods. So it can be up to you. Okay. So other than that, you can also change the formatting. Let's say you want to change the color of this course or affinity, just right click, format the text. And then you can change the formatting. So you want to bold the text or change the color and so on. Oh, you want to bold, italic it, format. Okay, so that's quite straightforward as well. And if you do not like the current layout of your man-machine materials fishbone diagram, you want to transform it into a tree diagram. So if you do it in other software, let's say if you do it in Excel or any other program, you might need to redraw it all over again. But with Companion, you can just go to type. There is an option for you. You can directly transform it into idea map, city tree, right tree or left tree, let's say idea map. Then with that one click, it will be transformed into idea map. And another click, transform into city tree. And right tree, left tree. Okay, so very straightforward and very easy. You can also choose to display the levels, only just level 1. And up to all levels. Okay, so that is part of your data sharing features, as well as how flexible and easily you can create the brainstorming diagram or fishbone diagram. A quick one before I go to the web app, I'll show you value stream map because I think it is quite useful. So again, I go to insert, value stream map. So by default, Companion by Minitab comes with a blank value stream map or 4 process or 7 process. Let's say I'll pick 4 process just to show you how it has been created for you, and then you can just directly use it. You can also edit them. So this is a 4 process value stream map. Okay, so you can just double click on the shapes to rename it. And then you can also enable the task pane. Let's say for this inventory shape, I have some data, inventory data, just put in 5,000 and so on. And then for this process shapes, I like to put in the cycle time, value added cycle time, operators, and so on. So you can directly fill up your value stream mapping, and then all of the cycle time, the data will be displayed as peak and through at the bottom, okay? And then at the end of it, it will contribute to the timeline summary on the far right-hand side. There is a table of the timeline summary. So let's say if you update this for another shape, and then it will contribute to the timeline summary. It will be automatically calculated for you so that you don't have to do manual calculation. So very straightforward and easy. And then on top of here, you will see that there is a takt time that will be calculated for you as well. So takt time calculation, you go to map. So depending on what is your customer demand. So usually takt time refers, for those who is not aware what is takt time, it refers to the pace of the production that they need to maintain in order to meet the customer demand. Let's say your customer demand for 8,000 pieces in a month. You can also change the metrics or the units to weekly or yearly. Let's say I'll put it as 8,000 per month. And then you can change it accordingly based on how many hours of shift per shift that you have. Let's say they work 8 hours, I have 2 shifts per day. Then you will notice that the takt time will be updated. If I put 2, so the takt time will be longer. That means you have longer time to prepare each piece of the product for your customer. So if you have 10 hours, if you have 5 days per week, I will change it to 3 days per week, then the takt time will be lesser. Okay, so these are all automatically calculated for you. Okay, but if you would like to know the takt time by second, you can change the unit as well to second. So you will know that each piece of product you need to complete within 108 seconds in order to meet the customer demand and deadlines. Okay, so other than that, same thing for other tools as well. If you have any other data that you would like to capture that are not displayed here, you can always select add and arrange data views. Let's say total distance. These are all available for display on the left-hand side, and then which are already displayed on task pane is on right-hand side. So let's say this total distance is not there, you want it to be captured as well. Click on total distance and then click on the arrow to the right, then it will be added in. So depending on where you want to put it under timeline summary or the inventory calculation, you can move it up and down and so on. You can even create a separate group for total distance. There's a new group. Okay, then it will put it under new group. Okay, so for any data that you would like to include Okay, I should put it as, if there is any other data you would like to include which are not available for display here on the left, you have more customized data you would like to include, you need to add or edit the global data fields. If you click on this one, it will go to the web app. Okay, so if you are having just the desktop app, not the full version, you won't be able to add in global data fields. Okay, so you can only add in the data fields from what are available for display here. That is the limitation of having just a desktop app. So, and then if you have added in total distance into new group here, it will only be visible or applicable within this particular project file. So if your colleague is running or working on another different project file, different project name within the organization, they won't be able to see this total distance that you have added in. Okay, so only those who are having a full version with the web app with access to Design Center, right? So they can only add the global data fields. So once they add in the global data fields, they can always add or change all these data fields or remove them. And then it will be reflected across the organization subscriptions. Everyone in the organization who has access to the companion by Minitab, they will see the changes. Okay, so once I click OK, total distance will be reflected there. Okay, so with that, working with other tools, I would just show you. Okay, there are options for you to export to PDF. If you like to export these particular tools or forms or diagrams to PDF, you can select it, or you can send it to Word or PowerPoint. But bear in mind that even if you send it to Word or PowerPoint, it is not editable. It will appear as a picture file. Okay. And then you can also insert Minitab project file from here. If you have any other file which is not a part of the companion by Minitab project files, you like to add in a picture, let's say, you can add in, insert it as related document. You can enter the name, sample document, sample picture, let's say, and then just browse to the file. So just, let's say I have a picture. Let's say I would like to add in our picture. Okay. And then there are two options. You can save a copy of the file in the project, or you can create a link to the external file. So depending on what is your preference. If you save a copy in the project file, then if you have a lot of such related documents, then your project files will grow larger and larger in the long run. But if you create a link to external file, make sure that you do, if you delete or move the file, make sure that you updated it in the companion project as well. Because if you move or deleted that file, it will appear as broken link later on. You won't be able to open it. So this is useful when you have any external file you would like to include in your project, and then it might serve as reference for your team member or your management when you want to present it to them. Okay, and then I'll just quickly show you what is the web app. Okay, this is the dashboard. Okay, web app. Okay, yeah. So this is how the web app looks like. You go to the dashboard first. Okay, so this is how the web app looks like. There is a dashboard tab, workflow, projects, and design. So What is the dashboard? Dashboard is actually I think it is more relevant to the management, because usually the management will not have time to go through the project data one by one. So they want to have an overview of what is the project status that are running in the organizations. So it will draw on the data from projects that are stored in the repository to provide a dynamic graphical summary of the program. The management can see financial summary, status report, project impacts or progress towards set targets, and so on. You can tailor make the report, either set it as public or private reports. You can custom create multiple column set that summarize project data in useful ways. There are also powerful search capabilities. So, okay, this is the dashboard. If you scroll down, you will see the column set at the bottom. So these are some of the report summary that I created. So over here at the bottom, it is column set. So column set will allow us to take a look on the project data for each project that is in your repository. So you can customize all these columns according to what you want to see, without the need to click one by one to open up the project file. Okay, so if I click on any one of them, it will go to the desktop app. Okay, let's see. If I click on any one of it, it will open the desktop app. So all of these can be created. Let's say I have created a project at a glance that is by default financial details. I created one. If I select financial details, the columns will look different because this is based on what I wanted to see, and I set it accordingly. So I only want to see all the savings, either hard savings, soft savings, actual, estimated, and combines, and so on. So depending on what you want to see, you can customize it. Just click on new column set if you want to create new one. Okay, and then if you scroll up, these are all called summaries. So you can also work based on the filters. You can add in filters by, let's say, by the location. Okay, so currently I have these few locations. I can also filter just by 2 locations, update, and then it will show the data for only 2 locations. Okay, and so on. So I can also remove these filters later on. It will be updated. So you can customize this dashboard page or the summaries, everything, even the column set. Just click on actions. There are options for you to create new report, edit or copy, and so on. So I click on edit report. And then you can also edit the filters. You can add in new filters depending on your requirement. Okay, and then if you want, so by default, these summaries are all readily available for you, and then we recommend that you make use, do not delete these summaries first until you get familiar with how it works, and you can start from scratch. So let's say for this, I'll just edit from here just to show you how easily you can come up with this summary. Okay, so there are 6 steps that will be populated for you. So they are all comes with the guideline and very straightforward. Step number 1 is for you to select the variables that you want to summarize, what actually you want to see and summarize. So for this case, I select number of projects. I can also select based on financial data and so on. Okay, so, and then you click on next or step 2, it will go to time. So time component is not required for this case because number of projects counts all the projects included in the dashboard already. So for step number 3, groups, if you would like to group the result by certain variables, let's say by location or business unit, you can add in the group. So for this case, I would like to group them by belt levels. So I just click belt level. So if I want to click based on location, you can select location. And then you can also add in more fields to group. And step 4 will be the subset options. This is also optional, whereby you can define a subset for projects to include in the summary. So if you have any conditions, you can add in, say, depending on what you would like to set. And then the next step will be targets. So you can define the targets for your summary. This is also optional. So for this case, let's say you have an option of higher is better or lower is better. So depending on what you want to summarize, let's say for financial savings, of course, higher is better. But if, let's say you want to summarize the downtime summary, of course, the lower is better. Okay, so depending on what you would like to summarize. And then last one will be customize. So this is the option for you to customize your summary. If you would like to include in the summary both table and graph or just the table, below will be the preview for graph only without the table or both. Okay, and then you can also choose whether the table to appear on left, right, top or bottom. Okay, and so on. You can also change the table and graph settings, so you can explore it on your own. There is also option of graph type like pie chart, bar chart, line chart. So there is no need for you to summarize manually or create the charts manually on your own. So these are all populated for you already. See pie chart, done. And then it will be populated for you, added into one of your summaries. So the same thing, if you like to add in column set, you can click on edit, add column set, and you can select the fields that you want to include and so on. Okay. By task and so on. And then once you have done the updates, just click on save or you can discard them. Okay. And then the second tab refers to workflow. Workflow would be useful for phase gate reviews. We understand that there are certain companies that would like their project team to go through every phase of review before they actually execute it. Okay, so a little bit about the workflow. Okay, workflow is the automated process for collecting and vetting project ideas and then turning the ideas into projects before they advance the project through phase reviews and approvals. And this will be particularly helpful to communicate priorities and to allocate your resources effectively from project conceptions through execution to closure. So it comes with the formal approval process and notifications. So workflow allows you to manage ideas through the project hopper. You can set formal stage gate reviews, track the changes in fields, and it comes with the automated notifications and emails. So this is how the workflow looks like. I'll show you the actual one later. So you can create, submit, and view ideas. When the workflow is on, user have to submit the project idea using the designated idea form. And then once the idea has been approved, then you can move on to add the steering committee and so on. So these are the steps of how to activate workflow and so on. I'll directly show you. Okay, with workflow on, a project must be approved at each phase before it can move to the next phase. And the project owner will decide when the project is ready for phase review. Okay, so these are all the steps. I'll show you the workflow. Okay, so the workflow, these are all the notifications. I can remove it, but I'll just leave it there. So you can click started by click on new idea or project. Okay, and then you click on create idea, and then it will go to the desktop app because you need to fill out the form. So another way is from here, from the desktop app. If you click on new, okay, because earlier on when I show you the desktop app, I selected non-workflow project. That's why you can move on to the phases without the needs to go through approvals. So if you click on new idea, create idea, no, then it will launch the idea form, which has been customized or designated to fill up before you can submit for review or approval. So this is the idea form. Okay, and then there are some compulsory fields that you need to fill up in order to proceed. So if you didn't fill up department and location, they won't allow you to submit for review. Okay, so these are all of these you can set it under the design center. Okay, so if I click on design center, I think there's one here. And then design center, you have to create a sandbox. Actually, sandbox is an isolated environment for you to make changes to data fields or templates. This is useful for data architects to do testing and so on. So before I go back to projects repository, let me just go to the design center, a bit about design center. So design center and sandbox allows you to make changes or add to the standard project templates, form, tools, data definitions, and so on. The sandbox is an isolated environment where data architect can experiment and make changes without affect the live subscriptions. So earlier on, I mentioned that if you like to add global data fields, let's say in value stream mapping, you have some other fields you like to add in, you can add in under design center. Okay. So it will depend on your internet connection before it goes into the sandbox. So while sandbox is created, you can still use your live site, and then you can switch to after you created or make changes in the sandbox, you can switch to make changes without affecting the users. Okay. So this is how it looks like when you go into sandbox. The home page, it will show you what are the changes you have made. It will summarize the current change set, and then you can choose either to publish or discard the changes before it affects the live subscription. Data fields let you customize or add in new data fields. So this is where you can add in the global data fields. Let's say for your value stream mapping, you can just add in from here. You can also customize the templates. Let's say in your desktop app, just now in the beginning, there are a list of templates. If you have your own templates you would like to customize for your organization use, like this one, I created new template for workflow testing and so on. All of these you can create under new templates, new project templates. Okay, so it will show the same list of templates which are reflected on your desktop app. Okay, then these are past change sets. Sandbox dashboard will allow you to do testing on the dashboard before you put it live, or so that it won't affect the dashboard report on the live subscription. And then sandbox workflow is the place where you can make the setting for your workflow configurations. Okay, so all of the setting and configurations you have for workflow you have to set up in here, like add in or edit steering committee, create an idea form, what are the required fields you want to set, what are the project data to display. You can also turn on the email notifications and so on, okay? And then if you do not want to activate workflow, you can always turn off the workflow from here, okay? And then sandbox projects are the list of the testing projects, okay? So once you have done any changes, updates, you can publish the changes. Before that, you might want to go back to the home, whereby you will see the set of the changes that you have created before you publish or discard them. Okay, so I do not want to publish any changes, discard them. And then last but not least, the project repository. This is the project repository. Okay, project repository will show you the list of the projects currently running in the organization. This is the central storage where it will show you all the project lists. So you can choose to show the project only you own or all projects. You can also share the project with someone else or delete it, okay? Just select and then you can move or create folder and share or email it to someone else or include it in dashboard. So this is very straightforward. So that's all for my part on the web app. So a little bit about the user roles, just one slide here. So in case you might get confused on what are the users, because in the project team there are a lot of users, and then you might need someone to manage the license, to set up the data fields and templates and so on. So this is useful for you. Data architects is someone who will manage the data, create data fields, design the templates, tools, diagrams and so on, so that the standardized templates will be used across the organization. And then you have license administrators. This is similar to the Minitab license administrators for multi-user license or network license, whereby the license administrator will be in charge in setting up the subscriptions, add user to the subscriptions, or manage the software updates. So this is usually IT department or someone from IT that will take up the role. Administrators will be someone to access to all projects. He can open, edit, or release checkouts if you would like to assign administrators. And then last but not least, the users. So users will be the one creating and execute the project and the private dashboard. So before I wrap up, just a little bit about the benefits overall. And this is probably applicable to the management point of view. Companion by Minitab is easy and fast to deploy. Comes with dashboard whereby it can eliminate the non-value added work of chasing down to summarize project data or to update the monthly status reports, whereby you need to go through various phone calls, number of emails and spreadsheets in order to come up with the dashboard. So you can eliminate all those non-value added work from now on. And then it comes with the customized and standardized project methodologies and tools, and reporting of KPI, status, benefits, project durations. It provides a centralized project server because everything, if you are getting a full version, everything is hosted in the cloud storage, hosted by Microsoft Azure. So there is no need for you to come out with a dedicated project server specifically for your projects. And then it also reduces and eliminate the IT dependency. And for end user or the project team member point of view, it is very helpful and useful because it is a one solution with all the interconnected tools where it will reduce waste to re-enter the data and retype the information all over again. So you only need to enter data at one time, and then it will be shared across in between forms, tools, diagrams, and so on. So with that, you can save a lot of time to retype and reduce typing error. Okay. It is a single record of reference for all project information and documentation. There is no need for additional project tracking system whenever you update the project information. Okay, and to conclude, Companion is the complete solution on the market for efficient continuous improvement project execution, as well as to summarize the project work. The desktop app itself, with the roadmaps and tools, will make it easy to stay focused on problem solving and organizing your work. And then the web app itself will provide effortless reporting and visibility for your management. Okay, so is there any questions? Let's see. If you have any questions, you can just type in the chat window. Any questions? I hope that you found the webinar useful, and at least it gives you some idea of what is this product about. I think probably a lot of people still new to Companion by Minitab. So in case if you have any questions, you can always come back to us. Okay, yeah, okay. So before I end the webinar, if you would like to try or buy Companion by Minitab later on, you can always download the 30 days trial. This is a fully functional 30 days trial. Just go to www.companionbyminitab.com or our website, visits.com, and then there is a link for you to go to download the 30 days trial. If you have any questions or would like to find out more, would like to get an on-site demo to further discuss on the licensing options and so on, just drop us an email at minitab@visits.com. And then last but not least, you can always follow us on our social media, either on Facebook or LinkedIn. Just look for Minitab Malaysia and Singapore, and then you will locate us. So usually we will share or post updates on marketing activities, webinars, workshops, free workshops, or training events. And we will also share some useful blog posts from Minitab or some tech tips, okay? It could be for Minitab statistical software or Companion or any other software by Minitab. So don't forget to follow us on social media. If there is no questions, then I will end the webinar here. I will stop it here for today. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us today. I'm sorry for taking up your time. I think it's been more than 1 hour because we started slightly late due to the technical issue earlier. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar and found it useful and helpful. So have a great day. If you have anything, any questions, feel free to email us. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.